Here is your fully rewritten 2,000-word viral YouTube script. Stop whatever you are doing right now. Because what happened today at the Miami Open is the kind of thing that only comes around once in a very long time. An entire country literally stopped. Phones put down. Work abandoned. TVs turned on. And no, I am not exaggerating even slightly. Poland stopped for Magda Linette. And the Philippines? Over 100 million people held their breath. This is not just a tennis match. This is something far, far bigger. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why. But first, do you think a 24-year-old girl from the Philippines is actually ready to take down a battle-hardened Grand Slam semifinalist? Drop your prediction in the comments right now. I want to see it before this match ends. Let me set the scene for you. We are at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. The sun is brutal. The humidity is so thick you can almost chew it. The hard courts are gritty and unforgiving, demanding every last drop of physical and mental perfection from the players who dare walk onto them. This is the Miami Open, the second half of the legendary Sunshine Double, a WTA 1000 event so prestigious, so loaded with ranking points in history, that players speak about it in the same breath as the 4 Grand Slams. And on this court, in this heat, in front of the entire watching world, we have a round of 32 clash that has genuinely captured the imagination of two very different, very passionate nations. This is Magda Linette of Poland versus Alexandra Eala of the Philippines. And trust me, once you understand what is truly at stake here, you will not be able to look away. Let us talk about Magda Linette first. Because here is the thing about Magda that most casual fans completely miss, and it is the key to understanding this entire match. For years, the global conversation about Polish women's tennis began and ended with Iga Swiatek. Rightfully so, of course. But to dismiss Magda Linette as just background noise would be one of the biggest mistakes you could make as a tennis fan. This woman is the gritty, grinding, never-say-die soul of Polish tennis. She did not have a meteoric rise to world #1 as a teenager. She did not have sponsorship deals and magazine covers before she was old enough to vote. She had qualifiers. She had ITF circuits. She had injuries that would have ended lesser careers. She had heartbreaking losses that would have made most players quietly retire and move on with their lives. But Magda Linette is not most players. She kept grinding. She kept fighting. And then, do you remember that run? That magical, jaw-dropping, impossible run to the semi-finals of the Australian Open? That moment when the whole world suddenly looked at this Polish warrior and said, "Wait, who is she?" That was not luck. That was years and years of relentless, unglamorous, blood and sweat preparation finally exploding onto the biggest stage in tennis. Linette's game is built on something that flashy young players often underestimate: tennis IQ. Pure, cold, devastating intelligence on the court. She reads the game like she wrote the book on it. Her ability to absorb pace, redirect the ball with surgical precision, and systematically break down her opponent's game plan is genuinely elite. And her two-handed backhand? An absolute marvel. She takes the ball early, earlier than almost anyone on tour, robbing her opponent of recovery time before they even realize what has happened. When Magda Linette plays a high-stakes match, Polish fans do not just watch. They invest every emotion they have into every single point. Because she represents something that goes beyond tennis rankings. She represents what happens when sheer human perseverance refuses to accept the ceiling that the world tries to put on you. Cross the net. And look at who is standing there waiting for her. Alexandra Eala. Alex Eala. A name that right now carries the hopes, the dreams, and the desperate prayers of over 100 million Filipinos. Think about that number for a second. 100 million people. And this young woman, this left-handed, ferociously talented, frighteningly confident 24-year-old, is carrying every single one of them on her shoulders every time she walks onto a court. The Philippines has a proud sporting history. But in elite international singles tennis, Eala is not just making history. She is creating a category that did not exist before her. She trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. She became a junior Grand Slam champion, winning the US Open girls singles title. The expectations on her from that moment forward have been absolutely astronomical. And here is the part that separates the truly special players from everyone else. The transition from dominant junior champion to senior WTA competitor is where careers go to die. The women on the main tour hit harder. They move faster. They do not hand you points. They do not respect your reputation from the junior draw. They will expose every single weakness you have, ruthlessly and repeatedly, until you either fix it or break. But Eala has not broken. She has shown a resilience and a maturity that makes every serious tennis analyst sit up a little straighter. Her left-handed game is genuinely beautiful to watch. That heavy, looping, topspin forehand, the one that kicks violently off the hard court and forces her opponent to scramble, is going to be the defining weapon of this match. Her athleticism allows her to track down balls that would be clean winners against almost anyone else. And her training at the Nadal Academy has given her a clay court patience and point construction mentality that she has brilliantly adapted to the hard court game. So, can she actually do it today? Can she actually beat someone who has been to a Grand Slam semifinal? Keep watching, because the answer is more complicated than you think. Here is where it gets tactically fascinating. Here is the chess match inside the tennis match. Eala's primary weapon is her forehand. Everyone knows it, including Linette. So the defining tactical question of this entire match is this: can Linette's cross-court backhand go directly into Eala's forehand and somehow survive? Because that is exactly what is going to happen rally after rally. Eala's heavy topspin forehand crashing into Linette's backhand. Linette trying to take the ball early and redirect it flat and hard before Eala can wind up for another massive swing. This exchange, this specific rally pattern, is going to decide the match. If Eala wins it, she wins the match. If Linette can neutralize it, she wins. But Linette has another weapon that nobody is talking about enough: the slice. She will use low, skidding slices to keep the ball beneath Eala's ideal contact zone, forcing the young Filipina to generate her own pace from an uncomfortable position. And the drop shot. If Eala drifts too far back behind the baseline, which is her natural tendency when the rallies get heavy, Linette will pull that drop shot out of nowhere and make her sprint forward after already running a marathon to retrieve the previous ball. It is suffocation tennis. And Linette is one of the best at it on the entire tour. Now here is Eala's answer to all of that: aggression. She cannot allow Linette to control the geometry of the rally. She must attack the second serve. She must step inside the baseline and drive the ball before Linette can set up. And crucially, she must move forward. When a heavy forehand pushes Linette back and generates a short reply, Eala cannot hesitate. She must close the net and finish the point. Because the longer the rallies go, the more Linette's experience and tactical precision starts to grind Eala down. Do you think Eala is aggressive enough to do that today against someone this experienced? Seriously, comment below. I genuinely want to know what you think. The conditions in Miami are going to play a massive role in how this unfolds. The surface at Hard Rock Stadium is a medium-slow hard court. It rewards heavy spin, which favors Eala's forehand enormously. But the bounce is true and consistent, which allows a precision-based timer like Linette to find her rhythm and clean the ball beautifully. And then there is the wind. Miami wind is notorious, swirling inside the stadium in unpredictable gusts that make service tosses a nightmare and send high looping ground strokes sailing wide. Linette's compact, flatter swing will handle the wind far better than Eala's loopy strokes, which are much more vulnerable to being thrown off course at the exact worst moment. The humidity makes the ball heavy and slow. Rallies will be long. This match will not be won in short, explosive three-shot exchanges. It is going to be a brutal, grinding, physically exhausting war of attrition. And that brings us to the psychological dimension, which might honestly be more important than anything else. For Linette, the pressure is the pressure of expectation. She is the higher-ranked veteran. The world expects her to win. But playing a young, fearless, nothing-to-lose prodigy is one of the most dangerous situations any established player can face. Eala is playing with house money. Every winner she hits will feel like a thunderbolt. Every set she takes will feel like a revolution. Linette must remain ice-cold. She cannot afford frustration. She cannot panic if Eala suddenly catches fire and starts painting every line on the court. She must trust her patterns, trust her experience, and know in her bones that she has been here before and she knows how to win ugly when she needs to. For Eala, the challenge is entirely different and honestly more terrifying. It is not about game plan. It is about belief. standing across the net from an Australian Open semi-finalist in a packed stadium at a WTA 1000 event and truly, genuinely believing, not hoping, not wishing, but believing, that she belongs there and that she can win. The lights, the crowd, the occasion, the weight of 100 million people watching from home, all of that can crush a young player before the first point is even played. Eala must shrink the moment down. She must make it just tennis. Ball. Racket. Court. Nothing else. The transition from junior champion to senior contender is almost entirely a mental journey. And this match today is the biggest mental test of her career so far. This match is a perfect mirror of what the WTA Tour looks like right now. Veterans finding their absolute best tennis in their late 20s and early 30s, proving that experience and tactical mastery can match raw explosive power. And simultaneously, a wave of phenomenal young talent crashing onto the tour, fearless and hungry and refusing to be intimidated by anyone. Magda Linette and Alexandra Eala are not just two tennis players. They are the two forces that define modern women's tennis, colliding in one extraordinary round of 32 encounter at the Miami Open. Every single point is going to be a negotiation between explosive power and masterful control. Every game is going to be a chapter in a tactical novel that only the most devoted tennis fans will fully appreciate. So here is my final question for you. Who wins this match? Does Alexandra Eala announce herself to the entire world today with a stunning upset that sends shockwaves through the WTA? Or does Magda Linette's experience, precision, and psychological steel prove to be a wall that even the most talented young player on tour simply cannot break through today? Tell me exactly what you think in the comments. And make sure you are watching, because this is one you absolutely cannot miss.